So welcome back, people, to another edition of my channel, Wider Perspectives. And this is on behalf of a lot of my men who may be fed up when approaching women, whether you may believe in either approaching women in person still, on behalf of my traditional brothers, or on behalf of my brothers who may prefer, which more men I would say like doing now, meeting women through dating apps. And you keep on wondering why you keep on having to reach a dead end, so to speak. And I'm really making this video that is on behalf of my black men who are upstanding black men. You know, you hardly ever get in trouble. You just believe in doing things the ordinary way, living an ordinary life, whereas you're a hard-working brother. You may have your own place, be single, no kids, and maybe doing financially well enough to the point where you could be able to take care of yourself. You literally could be able to take care of yourself, be able to live in a nice one-bedroom, one-bathroom apartment, whether it may be either a studio apartment, or in some cases may be able to afford a house of your very own. It may have a good enough credit score and may have a good enough income to be able to get your very own house on your own. You may happen to either approach women still in person, once again on behalf of my brothers who are old-fashioned, and only to get rejected by the majority of women you may approach in person, or either you may happen to hit it off with women after matching with women off for whichever dating app or apps you may like to use, just to be able to I guess you would say find dates off of. And you may happen to go on dates with the women only for the dates to never hardly lead to anything. It's one reason why is because, see, black women, this is on behalf of my black women, by me being a black man, for my black men who are strictly into black women. See, the majority of black women, that is, they want the type of brother who a lot of other women that is want. The type of brother who may happen to have multiple kids pretty much spread it all across town. The type of brother who's always getting arrested all the time. The type of brother who could hardly put a proper sentence together. The type of brother who may have tattoos, whether he may have a small amount of tattoos or maybe heavily covered on tattoos, that is, may have, for instance, tattoos from on his face, the tattoos all down in the lower part of his body. Guys who are always under the influence of some kind of either alcoholic, narcotic, or some kind of recreational drug. Guys who may even do illicit drugs, that is, black guys, that is, who are that way. And I always have found it so strange, these same black women, though, are the main ones who would get with a square, ordinary type of guy that's the opposite race, when he doesn't have any kind of street credibility, any kind of swag, none of that. See, women, most black women, they are into that type of guy who has swag. For some reason, it's always been that way, where so many black women, they want the guy that's always swagged out, so to speak, the guy that's so popular, has, you know, a pretty, who is known on a pretty local basis, you know what I mean, whose name is heavy in the streets, to put it another way. They also are attracted to the types of guys who are always giving them a hard time, from the guys who may be womenizers or womanizers, to the types of guys who are pieces of crap, the types of guys, basically, if you're a womanizer, if you want to be technical, you are a piece of crap. Not only that, but guys who are very abusive, usually either emotionally abusive, mentally abusive, especially physically abusive. Those are the types of guys so many black women choose to stay in long-term relationships. And to add insult to injury, they will complain all day, day in and day out, about these same types of guys who are always giving them so many problems to either their female friends or some of their relatives, female relatives, only to remain with those guys due to how they may feel like, in some cases, they're trapped with those types of guys, especially if they may be either married with those types of guys, or even if they won't be married with those types of guys, but may have either a kid or kids, multiple kids with those types of guys. And those are the main types of guys who they really choose to start families with. They're married. Also guys who won't usually provide for them. Guys who they have to always usually provide for. Due to how, for some strange reason, they get a thrill out of a lot of black women being with guys who don't have their stuff together. I like to call them raggedy guys, guys with no structure, guys who may be in prison, but they'll still go out of their ways to be faithful to. Guys who may have just been released from prison, and they'll have the nerve. What makes it even more crazy is they'll go out of their ways to travel up to the prison where the guy may have just gotten released from, and be bragging about on their way there, record on social media, as I have seen in some videos of the past. And this is so, I find it so crazy and so weird at the same time, on their way to pick up the guy who has literally nothing to offer them. They'll be bragging about how they may be on their way to go scoop up their N-word. For all my hood rat black women, that's how they like to talk. And as soon as they may see the guy released from prison, on his release, they will go out of their way to kiss him, go out of their way to do long hugs with the guys, and just be so happy to see these guys after these guys may have done some of the most heinous crimes and serves X amount of years, an extended period of time in prison on behalf of either capital murder. It could have been on behalf of aggravated assault, attempted robbery, sexual assault, those kinds of crimes. But yet and still, these black women, most black women are into those types of guys. Once again, I'm making this video on behalf of my black guys who don't happen to fit that description. My black guys who, once again, believe in doing things the right way, the more structured way. You may basically go to work every now and then during some of your downtime on some of your off days. You may like to go to your local bar and have a few drinks, socialize with some of the fellas inside the bar. Nothing too out the ordinary, just to be able to unwind. And when you're not doing that, you may go to work, basically, come home. You just believe in doing things, making an honest living. You may go to church every once in a while, or in some cases you may go every Sunday, may be heavily into the Bible, heavily into religion, only for so many black women to be drawn away from you. See, one reason why is because they don't know how to handle those types of brothers. So many black women. On top of that, it's like whenever you are a guy that's a toxic degenerate, when it all comes down to it, guys like that are the opposite, the complete opposite that most black women go for, you seem to rub them the wrong way. You seem to get under their skin, so to speak, as well. Anyways, make sure to like, share, comment, and last but not least, subscribe to the channel. And till next time, I'll see y'all later.